Good Thursday morning at 6 o'clock. Welcome to Montana This Morning. I'm Victoria Hill. Thank you so much for getting your day started with us. And Miller, we're working our way through the week this close to Friday.
Oh, we are there. You can almost see it just around the corner. And we may actually get some snow to start off our weekend. And we'll tell you more about that with the main forecast coming up. I like to crunch numbers. Let's go inside some numbers right quick as we can see a live shot of the moon over Billings right now. Yesterday we got up to 35, which is a good 8 degrees below average. We're going to try to get up to about seasonal today. We'll try to sneak into the low 40s. We got up yesterday morning with temperatures in the low 20s, right on target where we should be. Yesterday we actually saw some graupel, some snow pellets yesterday. So here in Billings we had about 2/10 of an inch of accumulation. We'll say that's at the airport. We may see some of that again today, or at least we'll see some rain possibly if it gets warm enough. Just a slight chance of rain, so low I don't even have any percentages really put out there, but it could happen. Right now in the Billings Airport we're at 24, feels like 9. Winds out of the southwest at 21 with gust up to near 30. Temperatures around the horn right now, Forsyth at 23. We got White Sulphur Springs at 15. Harleton, where you can see some gusty winds today too, you're sitting about 21. We've already had gusts near 60 down near Livingston along the I-90 corridor there, and up and down 191 you could see those really strong winds. Again, those temperatures out there mainly in the 20s and some teens. Highs today in the 30s and 40s as the clouds do build up as we go along this afternoon. How are we going to get there? Your day planner, clearing clear skies this morning, windy as we go along, and then here come those clouds as we get later in the day on this National Chili Day.
And Miller, there's a thing here in Montana, a combination. I want to know if you've heard of it yet. Cinnamon rolls and chili.
Okay, you know what? You would think I'd be shocked, but I had somebody go to my Facebook page and mention, who mentioned that? Hugo mentioned that. Now, tell me why?
I guess it's like the combination of,
Sweet
salty and
yeah.
sweet. Yeah, and I have yet to try it myself, but apparently, you can break apart the cinnamon roll and scoop out little parts of chili and put it in your mouth.
I could go
so
for
it's
that.
a good, taste combination where, alternate biting, taking a spoon of chili and then bite your cinnamon roll. Yeah.
I could really get into something like that. And I asked that question on my Facebook page, what do you put in yours? And that Hugo said beans, beef, sausage, onions, cheese, and then you dunk a cinnamon roll in it. And Sandra likes to put avocado in hers. Some really good ideas this morning.
Yeah, avocados. Yes.
Saturday morning, I like to have chili in the morning sometimes. Maybe Saturday morning or Saturday afternoon with the snow if we get it. Perfect opportunity to take all these ideas for this recipe and make a mega chili.
Mega chili, yeah.
Mega chili.
And you'll have some mega leftovers and you won't have to cook any mega dinners for the next couple of days. I'm all for that.
And you'll need some mega Beano.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
All right, Miller, thank you so much. I will get to the news. Our top story this morning, Democrats in the U.S. Senate are meeting with a rules official to determine whether or not they can include a $15 national minimum wage in the latest relief bill without a single Republican vote. GOP leaders call the relief package a job killer that doesn't do enough to reopen businesses and schools. Meanwhile, President Joe Biden signed an executive order boosting America's supply chains amid the coronavirus pandemic. That move received widespread bipartisan support. We are slowly getting back to normal here in Yellowstone County, and the first sign of that is at Metro Park. Right now, Class A basketball tournaments are being played in the arena, and the Billings RV and Boat Show is bringing camping enthusiasts out of their homes and into the Expo Center. This is just the beginning for Metro Park. In May, officials hope to entice customers with 2 big events, a PBR rodeo and a Toby Keith concert. Metro Park staff says safety will remain a priority.
But it's not going to be 8,500 people in the arena. Won't occur for that show. Same kind of thing with PBR. We're working with them to establish an appropriate amount of attendance for the arena in order to keep people safe.
The home improvement show is scheduled for next week at Metro Park, and we'll have more on that event coming up later in this show. On to the Montana legislature now, where lawmakers endorsed 2 additional bills that would further allow the carrying of firearms in publicly owned buildings. The House voted for a bill that says local governments cannot prohibit guns in any building under their jurisdiction. And the Senate okayed a bill saying any state legislator can carry a legal firearm on any portion of state property open to the public except a prison. These bills were split down party lines, with Republicans for and Democrats against.
think of one particular place in my county that, so far as I know, I can't carry a weapon, and that's the county fairgrounds. Now, I'm a taxpayer. I pay for that. I go there. There's often events that have a lot of people. I don't know everybody that's there. I'd rather be able to legally carry a weapon to protect myself and my family.
Our local city halls and courthouses are not a place for openly carrying or concealing of firearms. Local public employees routinely deal with matters that involve high levels of emotion and angst and need protection from reprisal and attack.
The bills each face a final vote before advancing to the next House. Last week, the Montana House passed a bill that would put the state back on track to resume executions by lethal injection. Meanwhile, in Wyoming, another effort is underway to repeal the death penalty. Q2's Russ Riesinger has more.
Several groups are involved in the effort to try and repeal the death penalty in Wyoming, and they came pretty close to succeeding 2 years ago, falling just a few votes short. Another bill is expected to be introduced in the coming week, and some of the opposition to capital punishment is coming from those who have been most hurt by violence.
It was in 1993. My mother was working at a convenience store here in Green River, Wyoming.
30 years ago now, and she was 24 years old. She was working as an entertainer, singing and dancing in Great Falls.
And a random individual came in and kidnapped, took her out to an area where he then raped and strangled her to death.
And she'd been in a relationship that had been very stormy. We got a call that she had been shot, and it was a really dark and long, hard time.
Sue Dupree and Crystal Martin share a tragic bond of losing a loved one to murder. They're also both members of a group called Wyoming Conservatives concerned about the death penalty. Sue has served as a pastor of churches in both Wyoming and Montana.
I have consistently argued against it for the last 30 years. Really, I felt like it was one way that I could honor the life of my daughter to just speak up for life in general.
Crystal not only lost her mother as a child, 25 years later, she also lost her husband to homicide.
Then, as an adult in 2014, my husband was shot in the head and burned in a fire pit.
She later began studying criminal justice and learned about a restorative justice program in Wyoming that allows victims' families to meet an offender in hopes of bringing about healing. It would bring her face to face with the man who killed her mother.
At first it was really scary walking into the prison. I'll tell you that. The gates closing behind me, just slamming, making me jolt, not knowing what to expect. But then when I got in there, it was empowering. It was, I get to lead the conversation. I get to have the questions answered that I've been waiting so long to have answered.
Did you forgive him?
I did. I absolutely did. He's a human being, just as anybody else is.
Wyoming has only executed one person since capital punishment was reinstated, and that was in 1992. There's no one awaiting execution. But last year, the U.S. Supreme Court cleared the way for a possible return to death row for Dale Wayne Eaton by declining to hear his appeal.
Eaton, now 75, could be resentenced to death for the horrific 1988 kidnap, rape, and murder of 18-year-old Lisa Marie Kimmel, who'd been driving home to visit her parents in Billings from Denver. Eaton was linked to Kimmel's murder in 2003, her car found buried on his property. The time and costs involved in a death penalty case are two of the reasons why opponents argue against it.
You don't see it as a deterrent in any way?
Absolutely not. No, I see it as an easy way out.
It hasn't been proven to be a deterrent. I've studied the issue a lot, and the statistics don't bear out a deterrence on it.
Yeah, a lot of people do feel eye for an eye. For me, I feel that there's no justification in taking another person's life, no matter the harms that they cause you.
Crystal believes the money spent on death penalty cases would be better off going toward victims' families or other efforts to prevent crime. The cost of a death penalty case also got the attention of the state's Republican Governor Mark Gordon, who said last summer that Wyoming may implement a moratorium on the death penalty to save money. In Billings, I'm Russ Riesinger reporting for MTN News.
Thank you so much, Russ. Now in court news, the man accused of leading police on a multi-county 130-mile car chase in western Montana last week appeared in court yesterday. 35-year-old John Binkley is charged with attempted deliberate homicide after allegedly shooting at a sheriff's detective during that chase. A judge set his bond at $750,000. Binkley's arrest near Garrison shut down Interstate 90 for hours. His next court appearance is scheduled for March 19th. One of 3 suspects in the high-profile death of a Great Falls boy is pleading guilty. Roscoe Birdtail is charged with assault on a minor by accountability and tampering with evidence. 5-year-old Antonio Renova was found dead in a home in December of 2019. His case garnered statewide attention. Antonio's parents, Emilio Renova and Stephanie Byington, are also facing charges. They are scheduled to go on trial in August. Finding a home can be challenging, especially in rapidly growing parts of Montana. MTN's Gabby Crevitt caught up with a hopeful first-time home buyer to hear his family's challenges and frustrations in their search for a house.
We've heard about it for months and months. The inventory of available houses for sale in Bozeman is low. And for this young family with a baby on the way, their dream house can't come soon enough.
I'm just asking for someone to sell us a home. My sign says, please sell me a home.
You may have seen Sean Hoxford strolling down Main Street with a cardboard sign, asking for leads on a house for sale. Hoxford owns a successful business in Bozeman and lives comfortably with his wife in a small, yet cozy 400-square-foot house they rent in downtown Bozeman. The couple says they feel fortunate and privileged, but want to establish permanent roots in a community they work in and love.
It's been about 6 months. We've made, I think, 18 offers now on different properties and haven't had one accepted yet.
It's been a little bit tough with them and all of my first-time home buyers, to be honest with you.
Sean and Jessica's realtor, Jeff Bent with Obsidian Realty Group, has been working with the couple from the start.
Quite often they get qualified for a certain number, and the market has been changing so quickly that what they got qualified for no longer meets what they want to buy, and so we kind of have to adjust their expectations at some point.
Hoxford says people have generally been receptive to his signs, which he says highlights a more complex problem in the current state of the market.
I think the most frustrating thing about that is not that we have been making lowball offers or non-competitive offers because we can't afford it or don't have a high enough budget. We've had a lot of experience of getting beat just narrowly by somebody who either has an entirely cash offer or who has more of a down payment than we do, or are in a position to waive contingencies that we can't.
If a property comes on the market, it's going to be gone in about 3 days, and probably it's going to have multiple offers on it during that 3-day period. So as long as it's just out of the realm of possibility priced, it's going to get activity and it's going to probably go above asking price.
Hoxford says he's optimistic and hopes to have a home by the time his son is born later in the summer.
There's days when it feels like we're never going to find a house, but we're optimistic still, and I'm confident.
Reporting in Bozeman, Gabby Crevitt, MTN News.
In Bozeman, the number of new listings for a single-family home is down about 5% compared to January of last year. Now in national news, the LA County Sheriff says there are no plans to file charges against Tiger Woods in his car crash this week. Medical experts say he will likely face a lengthy road to recovery after emergency surgery to stabilize his lower leg. CBS's Deborah Alfarone has the latest.
Today, the investigation continues into what caused golf great Tiger Woods' car to flip and roll over on this LA road. The LA County Sheriff is calling this purely an accident and not a crime.
He was not drunk. That is definitely, we can throw that one out. Speculation, irresponsible, no. There was no evidence of any impairment.
Authorities say Tiger's borrowed SUV crashed into a raised median, took out a sign, crossed over to the southbound lanes, and traveled 700 feet before rolling several times.
Any idea he was distracted and looking at the phone? We do not have any information on that whatsoever. I mean, we'll find out on that.
Doctors say they inserted a metal rod in Woods' tibia and used a combination of screws and pins to stabilize his ankle and foot. CBS News medical contributor Dr. David Agus estimates it could take 6 months for Woods to heal from his injuries.
The muscles around the legs were traumatized, and so that caused swelling. So it's going to take a while to retrain these muscles, to enable these bones to heal over the rod, and to enable him to walk again.
Investigators say the car Woods was driving did have a so-called black box. They say they'll be looking at that event data recorder to help determine if excessive speed played a role in the crash. Deborah Alfarone, CBS News.
There are now calls in Los Angeles County for a safety review of the notoriously dangerous stretch of roadway where the accident occurred. Since January of last year, there have been more than 4 accidents, 4 resulting in injuries. Back here in Billings, the community is being asked to show school pride in support of 4 high school students who recently lost their lives in car crashes. They attended Billings Senior and Billings West high schools. To show your support, wear orange and black today and gold and black tomorrow. Students at Skyview started the effort to wear the colors of their rivals to help them through this difficult time, and right now the support is needed.
Monday was really rough, especially Monday morning walking into that school. As the day went on, it went better, and yesterday was a little bit better. But it's hard. They're young and they're trying to wrap their brains around it.
The crashes have sparked dozens of volunteers to work to ensure a safe graduation night for all Billings grads. All 3 public high schools will hold separate graduation ceremonies on Sunday, May 30th at Metro Park. There are overnight celebrations. Senior High Rad grad, Billings West Bear Bash, and Skyview Falcon Finale will follow that evening. If you would like to donate, sponsor a senior to attend, or offer prizes, you can head to this story at ktvq.com to find the link.